I'm gonna record so we can capture all of this stuff and we can kick off. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Omar, thanks so much for joining us. First question right out of the gate is to introduce yourself and kind of give us a high level overview of who you are, what your business does, and that kind of thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Joseph. It's an absolute pleasure talking about a topic that is very close to my heart and very exciting times. So I am a data scientist by practice. I've started in the data science field, working in the data science field about 8 or 9 years ago. Started with like portfolio optimization stuff in the finance field when I was a finance undergrad, did my master's in data analytics because I just fell in love with optimization at the time. And step by step, started getting to predictive analytics, classification, a little bit of computer vision, and then started working at consulting firms, tech consulting firms, focusing primarily on NLP stuff before ChatGPT like existed. So that was pretty cool, just fine tuning models from scratch. And actually, building NLP models before it was very manual. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
And then started working on some software integration of AI models within software. So not just giving clients the final output and a report and dashboards. No, we started actually embedding AI components within software. So started getting into the software space a little bit. Not a software developer whatsoever, but touched on it a little bit, familiar with the practice. And then most recently, I moved to the Middle East, where most of the work that I'm doing is within the strategy space. So, as you can imagine, it's most of my experience was in the U.S. And a year and a half ago, I moved to the Middle East, where I'm helping right now, actually, public and private sector clients with their AI strategy. So, like very high level objectives, roadmaps, things like that, infrastructure plan, readiness, design, GPU purchasing roadmap, for example, for like big clients in the government sector. So more less hands-on implementation now, more on the strategy side, and just it's been quite a ride. Getting more exciting as the time goes by. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's Omar in a nutshell.
Super cool. Super exciting. I like your journey. Yep, very familiar with NLPs before ChatGPT and the world before that. Now you just have an API to connect to and you can kind of type and it works. Totally different landscape.
Yep,
Uh,
absolutely.
Um, all right, so what is your company? What's the name of your company?
So my company is called Scikit.ai, actually very newly established, based out of the UAE as of right now.
Cool.
Do have a couple of undisclosed plans in the works though. It's a few things also based out of the US and more global, but Scikit.ai right now, I'm helping uh, uh, private and public sector clients as well. So more like an independent consulting role that I'm taking on with big corporations that are focusing on artificial intelligence and tech related things in general and digital transformation. But we're doing it more independently versus what I was doing before, which is, I've worked with KPMG, Ernest& Young, Deloitte, Middle East, and BCGX and the DC. And right now I'm just kind of doing things independently, but same business, same everything. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm up to.
So I'm sure you have this kind of conversation a lot, but the customers that you talk to, what are their fears or uncertainties related to AI, like injecting AI into their business?
Well, to be very frank, I think that, the percentage of the population that actually understands AI or like knows the potential of AI in a broad spectrum of its applications is very, very minimal. I think it's more of a FOMO type situation, right? So a
Yeah.
lot of executives that we speak with, they're like under pressure by leadership up to ministerial level, right? And presidential level, even telling them that, hey, listen, you guys need to apply AI. We need to look good in front of the whole planet, right? So they're under so much pressure to build things and, hiring companies building multi-million-dollar strategies on paper, right? But then when it
Mm.
comes to implementation, there's a huge gap in talent. When I say huge, it's like humongous, and also a fear of missing out, which creates a lot of pressure. And you don't approach the learning experience slowly and with kind of with the right mindset. So these are the two challenges mainly. Is that bias due to FOMO. Sorry, background noise. FOMO kind of like biasing people's approach, and also second is the huge skills gap. And if market is flooded, to be very honest, with folks that are marketing themselves as data scientists or as machine learning engineers or whatever it may be, right? Because of the hype. But when you actually get on the ground and work with them, or you try to build something with them, there's a lot of missing pieces. So yeah, I think these are the two main challenges in my mind. And obviously, there's more sophisticated challenges for the industry as a whole. But for clients that I'm dealing with on a daily basis, this is the main challenge. Is yeah, it's kind of the bias or the FOMO makes them a little bit narrow-minded, and there's a lack of talent in their organizations. So
How about on the flip side of that, is are any of them excited to get into AI, and what are they excited about?
I think you know again, like whenever there is a new technology that comes out, we saw it with blockchain, we saw it with the NFTs within the blockchain kind of realm, crypto in general, right? We saw it with a lot of different. I mean, dot-com bubble. I was like really young at the time, but I've read about it. Like whenever there's a new tech that comes out, I mean, people are just not as busy as we think they are, right? And they kind of like cling on whatever is out there, as being the trend. So I think that uh, um, uh, there's
They're more excited to ride the wave, it sounds like.
exactly versus and even the direction of which these companies like OpenAI, Google, like all these kind of model developers that are oligopolizing the industry. To be honest,
Yeah,
uh, uh, they're not focusing on R&D as much as they used to, because we're at a very like the algorithm is no longer the problem. It's more of um, it's more of an architecture, a
yeah,
design type situation, right? This is the challenge now: is how do you architect and how do you design? So I think this is causing a lot of. I probably diverged a lot from your original question, but again, like the FOMO situation is having every single client come to us and say, "Oh, I want to build an agentic framework," like which is essentially like a bunch of models with pre-built prompts, and they talk to each other with a specific outcome, and you feed the outcome into another model and you just get a final grandiose outcome, right? And this
right.
is just on language, right? Like language models are they're getting all the hype, but the potential of this technology is so like just beyond that, because with language is very powerful. And we can see this kind of in the linguistic space, which I think is going to be huge in the next few years. Like philosophically speaking, I would say, like, because language is so powerful and it's going to be like programming, um, but it's not where it needs to be yet. There's still things that we need to communicate to these models using language that we haven't yet figured out. So when we figure out how to communicate the law of physics, three-dimensional understanding within language, right? That's when things get interesting. And if you look at the profiles of the folks that are getting hired by OpenAI, and you look at their research, most of the folks are doing research in three-dimensional modeling, computer vision, three-dimensional modeling, because this is when physics comes into play. And that's when we'll truly get to, and I'm going to use another buzzword and wash my mouth afterwards, but you
Hmm.
know that's when we're going to get to the digital twins phase, right? Where the digital twins thing that they were talking about for years and years. If we get to a position where we can get automated systems that understand physics, the laws of physics, and understand our world beyond just reading a single page with the entire knowledge of the universe just in text, but more than that, that's when we're at a point where the things are going to just it's going to be crazy and
Yeah,
super exciting. But yeah, I think right now it's just basic crag stuff. So I have a bunch of contracts I want to look up things within. That's kind of like most of the access that we're getting. I want to automate a process that does this and that, but nothing that has arms and legs just yet, right?
right,
Uh,
right,
so yeah.
right. Now, how about your business specifically? Like, what are you using AI for? Are you doing anything in the lead gen side, like to get clients with using AI? What are you doing there?
No, so I think like I have a completely different focus right now. I'm not at a stage where I'm trying to get customers. I'm at a stage where I'm trying to uh, build a value proposition. So I have two
Mm.
parts of my business. The first part is what I told you about, like the professional services type business that I'm running. And then there's another part of it, which is building a technology product that will add value into the space. and that's still in the works. But currently, I'm not really focusing on any getting any clients whatsoever. I think that will come maybe in 3, 4 months when things are up and running. Um,
Okay.
but again, like there's huge challenges in the space right now as far as like making money and just pricing things the right way and trying to anticipate what they're going to do later on when you're using their APIs, right? Like you have no idea how much they're going to be pricing tokens next month. And this affects your strategy. It affects like your pricing, how you pitch things to clients. The honestly, the feasibility of the entire solution could be compromised. So I think that it's still maybe one day I'm gonna start utilizing some web scraping techniques, going on LinkedIn, sending automated messages to folks to tell them that hey, I'm doing this and that. Here's an automatic trial. I'm gonna have like some automated emails going out, but that's the extent of it. I don't think it's gonna get like any fancier than that when we say
Right.
AI, and it might not even be AI. It might just be like just a automation, right? Like just basic automation. And yeah, that's essentially that.
So
Uh,
if you can tell us what is your product going to do? Like what kind of target will your product be for, and what do you think it's going to be doing for them?
so my product is going to target three different segments. The first segment is going to be, research departments and research houses that are developing models or testing models, right? And these are more like your hardcore academics. And then it's also going to target companies that are developing custom RAG pipelines, like retrieval augmented generation pipelines, uh, which is the abbreviation of RAG. Um, this is the second segment, and the third segment is going to be uh, uh, companies that are trying to uh, develop, again, agentic systems, right? Of multiple models that talk to each other, and they want to make sure that models identify each other. They know each other, right? So this is kind of the direction where I'm taking things, and I think these are like the three main I'd say sub offerings of the company, and yeah, it's getting there. It's kind of a like there's no immediate need for it right now as of right now. Maybe on the R&D space there is, but as far as the customer side of it, there isn't much of a need for it right now. I think it's going to be really high in demand, or this concept of fingerprinting is going to be very high in demand in the next maybe 5 years, uh, or like 3 to 4 years from now, maybe. And you never
What?
know, it might accelerate, but that's
Yeah.
essentially it.
Yeah. When are you trying to release or launch? You think you're going to do that within the year?
Yeah, so that's the plan. I think it's going to be maybe sometime October, November.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Good.
yeah, hopefully. And there's always this conversation of whether you try to go direct to customer or try to seek investment, right? So these
Right.
things I haven't really touched on yet. We've been focusing purely on the tech. So I think that once we have the tech put together, working, that's when we're going to be like ready to go test things, beta release, and see where it goes.
Right. Have you come up with an offer strategy yet for it? Like, would it be a SaaS type of thing where somebody has a subscription? Would it be a one-time license?
Yeah, so, yeah, I think this is what I meant when I say like the commercial model of like what we're trying to establish is more of I want to make it very easy. I want to make it a very easy process because back in the day when before ChatGPT came out and I was like moving from an implementation powerhouse to a strategy firm from EY to BCG. When I was being interviewed, they told me, why are you leaving EY? I told them because I'm seeing there's going to be a huge shift. Someone's going to make an API available with a model that people are going to use, and we're not going to be implementing as much, right? So I'm going to want to be more focused on strategy, and that's the direction that I'm taking things towards. It's going to
Mm,
be a very simple website that you just go to. You just give it something that is very simple, and that's something I'm trying to be cautious with what I say because uh,
sure.
uh,
You don't want to
uh
give away the secret sauce.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. It's like my baby, so I'm trying to be
Yeah.
a little bit
Uh,
protective of my child, but it's going
sure.
to be very easy. Platform
But
as a service
I
on
get
a
it.
website.
It's gonna be similar to like the GPT interface where it's basically a text box and you can do a
Yep.
couple of things with it and
but
It's
not
user
subscription based
friendly.
because I think the only folks that can do subscription based stuff right now are the hyperscalers that are not making any money, right? Like if you look at OpenAI has not forecasting positive cash flow until 2029, right?
Mm,
Because they can afford to, slowly pull people towards depending on their tech so much that, if it goes up to $50, $100, you're still gonna pay for it. Um, so I think that, it's very tricky. Like right now, the pricing thing and the space due to the infrastructure costs and the silicon and then the it's very very complex. It's very political as well. Like there's a lot of Gulf countries like playing heavy politics on this, by the way, and it's influencing price. Like so, I don't think I'm gonna go for a monthly cost thing because I'll eventually end up losing money. I'm paying per
mm,
token, and
right,
the customers is paying a flat fee, and it's just not fair because I think I'm gonna end up, and again, like it's gonna require some cost testing and seeing kind of doing some
right,
sensitivity analysis of seeing like high frequency users versus medium frequency user, low frequency, like how often are they using things and how much it would cost me as someone who's running the application. But I think it's going to be a cost per run type thing, right? Like you're
right.
going to be like whenever you need it on demand, pay for it, you get something, right? That might be the direction I'm taking it in, but
Yeah, makes
this might reduce or discourage people from using it, right? Because of
right.
that, oh, we need to pay for it, we need to do that, right? But versus subscription,
And you'll
um,
only know that with kind of testing in the market and figuring out, talking to people, how, yeah, you'll only learn that as you go.
exactly, 100%. And you can do something. So how did Cursor and Lovable and all these like vibe coding platforms bypass that? Is that they're pricing per token as well. So
E-
they're
Exactly.
streamlining the token cost to you, which
Yep.
is kind of I think is the middle ground, right?
Yep.
So that way if tokens get more expensive, I don't care, right? It's
Yep.
gonna affect my
Yep.
end user, but it's not that I don't care, but like it's gonna affect my end user and it's gonna affect me, but it's not coming from me, it's coming from up top from the folks that are,
Yep.
frankly, running this industry for now, right? Until
Yep.
further notice, until
Yeah,
decentralized computing gets in. But we'll see.
if you were to ask me, I would say that's the model to go. Like it's right in the middle, and it's people pay their own token usage, but they pay your SaaS to leverage whatever it is you're providing, the service that you're providing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That could be it.
All right. So last question, and I think you've kind of touched on this, but yeah, I think your goal with your business is to kind of launch this product, get new customers, get a footprint in the market. But from a personal perspective, why does that matter to you? What drives you?
That's a great question. Also, like really, really, I'm gonna get a little philosophical now. Um, I think that like I think everyone who has a certain skill set and has a certain capability is has a moral obligation to try to add something to society using that capability or that talent or that skill, right? And in order to do that with ultimate freedom, you need you need to be bold, you need to be risk taker, and you need to just take a leap of faith and do something that other people might think is absolutely insane. And as someone who's let's say very deep in the corporate world, and I think I had a good career run so far. I reached a conclusion that I'm happy with where I am. I've tasted let's say career success in its most basic form. I don't want to like pursue partnership or a C-level executive position for now. I want to build something interesting, have fun while doing it, and have the freedom to do whatever the hell I want beyond and not being tied down by any type of politics, by any type of limitations, by any type of, you know, creativity suppression type tactics, right? And
Yeah.
so this is what keeps me going is that this is my baby. I want to. It's either now or never. I want to do something that is super exciting for me, whether it works or not. I really don't care. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to play video games a lot, and I there was no reason to play video games, right? Like to play MMORPGs, spend like 10 hours a day, like mining with your friends or doing whatever, right? The term is based on the game that you're playing, but you had fun doing it. So I think this is it. Like it's that I found something that I thought was super cool that the market truly needs, and I don't think a lot of people has have that idea because uh, um, I've had the privilege of being involved in the space like very early on, and I was more of the back office person doing the grunt work in the beginning, right? So I
Right.
got a lot of exposure, and then slowly got into the strategy component of it, and then now it's just coming like it's like a puzzle coming together. It's not like it's time to do it. So yeah, I think that's that's it.
Super. Yeah, great answer. All right, I think that's a good wrapping point. Um, so yeah, awesome conversation. I think I'd like to keep in touch with you. One of the things that we do, we partner with businesses actually and help do AI based marketing for them. So as you get to that place with launching, you're kind of deep in the AI space yourself, so you may do a lot of this on your own. But we have some tools where we do what you were describing, right? Like automated outreach, automated nurturing, automated closing. So we leverage a couple of tools in the space, and we help partner with businesses in the future doing that.
Super cool, super cool. Yeah, I think that marketing is definitely my weakness. I had no nothing about it. So I mean, I was just throwing out like automation things, but I think there's a lot beyond that. So 100%, I think that when we get to a
Yep,
point where
yep,
we're going to market, this is going to be super valuable. So I look
yeah.
forward to staying in touch.
Yeah, let's keep in touch and good luck with the build and we'll talk soon. I'm excited for you for the launch coming up.
Thank you so much, Joseph. It's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks a lot for reaching out and connecting. And yeah, we'll definitely stay in touch. I'll keep you
Uh,
posted.
Sounds good. Get back to the volleyball game.
All right, I think they're done, but I had enough. I had enough fun for
All
today.
right. All right, that's good.
All right, man. All right, take care.
Take care.
Take
See
care.
you.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.